Hey everyone, this is Joseph the Eraser coming in with the first video in 2018. Today I'm gonna be explaining. I'm gonna do a little bit of deck profile, and this will involve the DDDs, different dimension demons. I'm gonna explain the main deck, the extra deck, and the side deck. And just to be clarified, this deck is basically a deck for fun, but I can also make it a bit competitive. With any suggestions, you guys can do it in the comment section below. Well, without further ado, let's begin with the deck profile. So, starting off, I run 1, 2, 3 DD Savan Kepler. Basically, he's the main searcher of the deck. You normal summon, get your dark contracts, and prepare your combos from there. I run 2 DD Savan Galilei. Main reason for him only is first so I can put him in the pendulum scale for pendulum summoning. I can maybe remove it for a Lamia or Orthros and for another Thomas, but you get the idea. I run 2 DD Savan Copernicus. He's the foolish Boreal of the deck. Basically, when it's normal summon, like I said, DD or Dark Contract guard to the graveyard, from the deck to the graveyard. Mainly, I can just send it like for Berfomet or Lamia, so we can continue with the combos. I run DDD Rebel King Leonidas. He's basically the lightsaber of the deck. When you get this card in your hand, when you take effect damage, you can special summon this card, gain the damage you took, and as long as this card is on the field, you don't take effect damage. And when this card is in the penalty zone, when you take effect damage, you can destroy this card and gain the life you lost. I run 1 Thomas. I can maybe run it to 2 if I want to put it in the competitive deck. And basically, he's basically like a recovery for Pendulum D monsters that is sent to the extra deck. You put it in the Pendulum zone, get it back, get your DD Pendulum monsters back. And when this card is special summoned to the field, you can special summon a DDD monster from your main deck to the field, so you can go to overlay with this card. Next, I run the 3 Ragnarok. He's basically the monster reborn for the DDD monsters. For the pendulum effect, when a D monster is special summoned, you can get a D monster in the graveyard, special summon it. The opponent only goes for half damage, and you will receive 1,000 attack. But if you have basically like Leonidas or Dark, you're good to go. His monster effect is the same, but it only targets a DDD monster in the graveyard, special summon it. And the other is 3v1 D monster, and target a card in the field and banish it. And to wrap up the Pendulum monsters, I run a Doom King Armageddon. Basically, I only have him for using for his effect, and he's a 3,000 meter, and he can also be used for overlay. Well, that's for the Pendulum monsters. Onto the normal monsters. I run 2 Lamia. I can run it up to 3, but for this case, in the form for deck for fun, I run 2 because I have a specific card I have for reasons. But for competitive decks, I can run up to 3 Lamias for single summoning. Mostly, when you have her in your hand or a graveyard, you contribute 1 D monster under contract, special summon her, go for secret summon, but she goes banish. Next, I run the Fusion, Contact Fusion engine, that is 2 Necro Slime, 3 Sword Slime. The Sword Slime is basically Contact Fusion from the hand using materials from your hand. You can also banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a D monster, but you can only use each effect. Necro Slime, basically, when this card is in the graveyard, you can Contact Fusion by banishing him in another material. I run a DD Ghost. DD Ghost basically is a level 2 tuner. Basically, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 DD monster or Dark Contract card to the graveyard, except himself, and basically send the same copy from the main deck to the graveyard. So basically, you can send a Swirl Slime, Necro Slime, or Lamia to keep rolling the process. I run a Night Howl. One Night Hell, he's a level 3 tutor. Basically, the gimmick for him is basically target a D monster in the graveyard, special summon it, is and go for secret summon it. But if you don't use it, you will receive damage. But basically, you can use it to go to High King Alexander or Brian Armageddon. I run a Baphomet for in the style of deck for fun, but I can take it out for a Lamia or Orthros or another Thomas. But basically, he's basically target a D monster, declares the level to 1 to 8, it becomes a level, and go for overlay. And for the last monster, I run a Vice Typhoon. Vice Typhoon basically is like when this card is throw summon, you can treat one DD monster, special summon one level 7 DDD from your deck. During your main phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was entered this turn, you can contact Fusion to go to High King Gengish or Beowulf. That's it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. For the spells, I run. Give me a second. For the spells, I run 1, 2, 3 Dark Contracts with the gates. Basically, this is your main searcher card. You get your D monsters quicker to your hand when you need it the most. 1 Dark Contract with a swap key. You basically use it for fusion summoning a feat type fusion monster from your extra using monster you control. But if in this case, if you use some D-Mods, if it's D monster, you can banish monster from your graveyard as materials as well. I also run the Dark Contract with Yomi Makai. Basically, what I have, if I have a DD Pendulum monster in the graveyard or DD in the extra deck, I can place them in the Pendulum zone, so I can maybe go for Pendulum summoning from there. Then I run 2 Allure Darkness, basically for draw power, draw 2 cards, banish 1 dark. I run 2 Burial from a different dimension. Basically, it will help you get 3 of your banished monsters, send it back to the graveyard, so maybe you can return 1 Lamia, 1 Device Typhoon, or Necroslipe, or Lamia, whatever your choice. I run the 1 for 1, so I can tribute 1 monster, get Lamia or Kepler on the field, so we can go for combos. And I run the Rank of Magic Astro Force. This is mainly to evolve Caesar to High King Caesar, but I can replace it for another card instead of this, so I can go for much more better uses. That's it for the spells. On to the traps. For the traps, I play 2 Call of the Archfiend. Basically, if you have a level 5 or higher Fiend type monster in the graveyard, you can discard a Fiend type and special summon it. The idea for this is basically use Lamia. Use the effect of this. Target level 5, in this case, Caesar. Caesar, Gengish, Alexander, Beowulf, any one of those cards. Discard her, send it to the graveyard, and special summon D monster. Use her effect. Target a D monster or the contract. Special summon her and go for secret summon place. Easy as pie. And I run the 3 of the individual virus. Crush Guard virus, Eradication, Epidemic, and Full 4 virus. Crush Guard, target monster with 1,500 attacks or more. Concentrate on spell traps. And concentrate on 1,500 defense or less. So your opponent cannot even do much. That's it for the traps for the main deck. On to the extra deck. For the extra deck, I run some proxy extra deck monsters, but you will understand why. But it's basically for fun. For tournaments, I will remove their use to others. I run Flame Gengish, a Dark, High Gengish, Beowulf, and Purple Armageddon. Gengish basically, when a D monster special summon, target D monster in the graveyard, special summon it. She's basically for protecting your life getting more life points. He does the same with him, except for this guy, that his other effect is during your turn, when a spell trap or monster effect is activated, you can negate the activation. He's for piercing damage and in the stamina phase, Heavy Storm. He, on the other hand, basically He protects your fusion monster for cannot be destroyed by battle by Carfax or to be targeted with Carfax. He can destroy. You can target one card on your monster. You can target one monster on your opponent's side of the field, destroy it. It inflicts damage to the opponent of that. Sorry, my tongue got tangled. Basically, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. They receive the same damage occurring to their attack. The other is if the monster of the opponent, let's see, Clear Winged Synchro Dragon, who gets attacked by destroying a monster. Basically, this card's effect basically resets the attack of that monster. So they get screwed at that point. So on to the synchros. I run Alexander, Siegfried, High Alexander, and Brian Armageddon. Alexander does the same thing as him, but he only targets level 4 or lower D monsters. He, on the other hand, basically during an press turn, when you can target with face-up spell trap on the field, have his effect negated, and in this case, if he leaves the field, destroyed by battle of a card phase, you gain 1,000 life points equal for each dark contract. He does the same as this guy, except if you have High King Alexander does the same as this, except if you have 3D monsters on the field, this guy gets 3,000 attack, so he becomes a 6,000 beater. And for Bright Armageddon, basically is he protects these DD secret monsters, or not protect, is basically when an opponent declares attack, target DD secret monster, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible with defense less than or equal to that target monster's attack. It inflicts 10,000 for each destroyed. The monster effect is your opponent cannot target monsters with Garfax. If a monster is normal special summon while this card is on the field, you can make your opponent choose one pendulum monster they control. All monsters they control have their effect negated. And if this card is destroyed, it can place independence zone. So it's good. So for the XCs, I run normal Caesar, High Caesar, Kali Yuga, and Darkness Armageddon. Normal Caesar, basically, I have it for the rank of Magic to evolve him or go for him while using 2 Caesars. That's for competitive wise. But his is more basically detach an extra material during the end phase, special summon all the monsters that will destroy in that turn. But during the standby phase, take 1,000 damage. But if you have Dark or Leonidas, you're good. And so, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Dark Contract from your deck to your hand. His evolution form does the same thing, except when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, that includes a special summon of a monster. Quick effect, you can detach one activity for this card, negate activation, destroy that monster. Then you can make one other D monster you control, and this card gain 1,800 attack, so it will become much more powerful. It is very good, but the reason is, if you go for him, rank of Magic, and go for this guy, he will have 3 materials, so he can go more. So Kali Yuga basically is the heavy storm of the deck. Basically detach NXT material, blow all spell traps. The other is when discards NXT summon for the rest of the turn. Other cards and their effect cannot be deactivated. The other cards that are already on the field cannot have their effects negated. It's basically like a trap stun, just paralyze everything. The other is basically detach one exhibit for this card, then target one dark contract spell trap on the graveyard, set it on the field. And Darkness Armageddon basically, its pendulum effect is once per turn, if you have another D monster in the other pendulum zone, you can special summon one DDD Xyz monster from your extra deck, except himself. So you can go for either these 3. And his monster effect is basically when a 6C summon, you can attach one face-up XC pendulum monster from the extra deck and give him more materials. Pendulum monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, you can detach one extra material from this card. Then target one monster your opponent controls equal to the number of pendulum monsters you control, destroying them. If this card is destroyed, you can place it in the pendulum zone. And basically, the last extra monster I run is 2 of the Master King Archfiends. Basically, the Master King Archfiend, I use them only for giving put him in the extra monster zone so I can summon the big guys. That's mainly for that. I don't mainly use him for his effects. Basically, he's good for Archfiend decks that has the same mechanic as he does. So that basically is for the the extra deck. Now for the side deck, I got one Lamia for just in case, for tournament wise, MST for back row purposes. I run 3 proxy cards, but I only use it for playing for my friends, but for tournaments I don't. I got DD Fusion, DD Synchro, and DD Xyz. Oops, sorry, you're not supposed to be there. Basically, these cards are basically for Fusion Summoning a D-Monster, Synchro Summoning a D-Monster, and Xyz Summoning a D-Monster. But if you use for our Doom King Armageddon, this card can be substituted. This card can become a 2-tuner, and you can use it for one last tribute. And basically, for the extra deck ones, I got another Caesar, Wave Key, Flame King Genghis. Sorry, mispronunciation. Wave King Caesar, and another Siegfried. So that's it for the deck. Well, this is my first ever video ever made. But if you have any suggestions for any competitive card wise or anything, you can leave a comment in the description down below. But above all else, I hope you like the video. I would, or depending on how it goes. But above all else, don't let your dreams be dreams, and let your dreams be a reality. See you guys then.